Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So for this book, I was going to do a reading vlog. I was really excited about it, but my physical copy never came in. And when I started the digital copy, I read it within a day. So there wasn't really much of a vlog to do because I started it at work, finished it the next morning at work. So literally 24 hours, and I finished this book. This book is Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria. I'll bring the cover up here in just a second. I don't want to get her name wrong. This is the story of Jessie Faust. She was the midwife of the Harlem Renaissance. Langston Hughes has been quoted calling her that. And this book is all about her and how she got started. She was the literary editor for The Crisis, which was a prominent Negro magazine, and she was the first Black woman to have that kind of prestige and that position. She also was sleeping with W.E.B. Du Bois. And this book is about her starting out, her literary editorship, and her relationship with Du Bois, and all that went into that. I had never heard of her until I picked this book up. And the way this book is written, I felt like Jessie was a friend who was sending me letters about everything she was going through with Du Bois and her internship and her life. I felt like she was a new friend I had made, and she was just updating me on a daily basis, kind of thing. I felt like history jumped off the page. This is my favorite kind of historical fiction, where the story itself just takes a life of its own and you're along for the ride. I absolutely loved it. This to me was so good that I did not realize Jessie was a real person until I started doing some Googling, and I finished it. And the author had a note in the back of her talking about why she decided to go ahead and write this book and why she included the affair between W.E.B. Du Bois and Jessie, because Du Bois was married and his wife may or may not have known what was going on. And so the just learning part of Black history that I didn't already know was so amazing. Like I said, I was sent this book for review by Hear Our Voices, and I have to say I absolutely love everything they stand for. They are for getting a diverse reader or diverse books in the hands of diverse readers. So, as you can see, Harlem Rhapsody is the name, and like I said, I love this book so much. Right now on the screen, you're seeing me put down my reading journal spread. So I printed out the cover of the book, and the picture I'm adding in right here is of Jessie herself. So she was in her late 20s, early 30s when the story starts out. And one of the first prominent characters I recognized from history was Langston Hughes. She actually reads one of his poems and adds him into the crisis, and he becomes a figure in her life, which was really cool to see. If you've read the Diviner series, Langston is mentioned in there as being Memphis's favorite poet, and he wants to be just like Langston Hughes. So I recognized his name off bat because I had already done the research. So this story actually takes place in 1919 to about 1923, 1924. And like I said, it follows Jessie's life for those years in her time at the Crisis magazine. The Crisis was the first prominent Negro magazine that was started by W.E.B. Du Bois. That was his baby and his creation, and he was the main editor, and then he made a position for Jessie as the literary editor. And then they also made the Brownies book, which was a kids magazine. It was the first time that African American children got to see themselves in this positive light. And Jesse did all the editing and picking out the stories and working with the writers and just running everything. This book was a 5 out of 5 stars. It is one that if I ever get my physical copy, or I'm probably just going to buy one, to be honest, I'm going to annotate it. It is one that I think everyone should read, especially in the time of day we're in. This book was what we need. The writing is beautiful, the prose are beautiful. There are snippets of poems and writings from the time from influential historical figures. And this book is written where you feel like those historical figures are just your friends, and it has such a personality to it and a personability is what I think the word I'm looking for here, that I did not think they were real. Like I said, I love this so much. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding in my stats for the book. I always do the genre, which is historical fiction, method, which was physical, the date I finished, which was January the 22nd, the publishing year, which is 2025. It comes out on February the 4th. So be on the lookout. It's not out yet. And then I also add my rating and then pages, how many pages it was. My ebook was about 400 pages, so it may be off a little bit versus physical, but it's about 400 pages. It took me less than 24 hours to read. I think that if I had started it on like a Sunday, I would have finished it by the end of Sunday. But since I started at work, I read on my breaks and stuff, and that's why I wasn't done. But yeah, so I love this. Like I said, the picture at the bottom right of the screen is Miss Jessie herself. The top right is Langston Hughes. As a teenager, I wanted to add a picture of him because he does play such a big part in this book. And then on the bottom left is W.B. Du Bois, about the same time. The both of them were taken about the same time. If you like historical fiction, if you like black romances, if you like romance, I think this would be the one for you. If adultery is not a trigger, then this one is for you. Also, I will say there's a little bit of violence. So there are talk of lynchings and of the burning of Tulsa, Oklahoma, where a black black boy gets on the elevator with a white woman, and she claims that he assaulted her, and the KKK go and burn down a whole section of Tulsa behind this. If you've never heard of that, there is a Bailey Sarian Dark History episode. I think she did really well on this, and I will leave a link below for you in case you're curious. But there are talks of that. There are talks of the violence and the murders that were happening at this time in America. So just know that going in, that this is not like a light, fluffy romance. This is definitely historical fiction. You're getting it all. You're seeing Jesse's life as a whole, not just part of it. So I hope you pick this up, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.